Hello everybody, welcome back. In this video, I'd like to show you how to paint a snow scene using abstract shapes and patterns. These photos were taken this past winter, and I love the abstract shapes. I love the contrast of the low, like late afternoon light, and the just wanted to keep the same um, feel, but I don't want a literal translation. I just want something more stylized. So I'm gonna show you how to do that. So here I'm trying to put just design the shapes a little bit. Most of the on the left side is straight against the curve on the right bottom right, and just to divide the composition into a third. The upper two-third is gonna be straight, and then the left side is gonna be kind of against a curve. And so I start out with mixing the light tone. I want to give it that warm, low, late afternoon light, kind of yeah. So that warm orange sunlight. And so this is the light tone that I'm mixing. So uh, it's gonna be a lot lighter once this thing dries. So and adding a little bit of um, cooler color at the bottom because the I guess you'll see that there's some distant trees in the back that I'm gonna add later. So now I'm mixing up a small pot of a darker blue. Again, keep in mind this is still considered a light tone. So again, this occupy about about a third from the bottom. Again, if you look at it from an abstract shape, there's not really anything complicated. It's just some shapes, some light tone, light blue tone, and then mixing some, adding some warmer to add some variations in it. Again, it's just not just mostly simple shapes, and then makes beginning to mix a uh, this is a I would say a light mid-tone now. So even within that, there's variations. To the left, it's gonna be slightly cooler, what I'm putting down right now, and then as we move to the left side, and it's gonna progressively warmer, and then you'll see that there's gonna be a lot more yellow in that area. Um, so this area is actually going to be the focal point, the center of interest, because that's where the strongest color is going to be. Um, and at this point, it's just still kind of have the light tone, and then we are moving into the mid tone now. And these are just leftover paint that I use that I've used in the past, and I decided it's about the right temperature. I mean, it's about the right values, and then I feel like, oh, if it's the right value, why not use it? So I decided to uh, just to go from there. And then you can see the mostly the colors were just taken from those leftover paint. And then I do have a video that I made recently about using leftover paint, and this is some of the leftover paint. And then you can see that the abstract pattern is beginning to take shapes, mostly straight from the left side, and then there's some curve on the right side, and the bottom third is mostly there's not a whole lot. So just to contrast the patterns. And then I'm mixing some stronger color. And like I said earlier, this is going to be the center of interest. So you're going to see a lot of strong color. The orange against the complementaries against the blue. So yeah, so the whole idea is to create this abstract shapes and patterns that I'm doing. It's I don't want a literal translation of the snow scene. I want that kind of a stylized versions of the scene. And right now I'm mixing the darkest color. This is I'm moving into the dark value now. And you can see I did not use the leftover paint that you saw earlier. And this is the part that, because when you use leftover paint, there's a lot of other colors, especially sometimes I like to put some white in it. So it really, I want this to be kind of a darker, so you get contrast. As you can see, once you put the darkest dark in there, you can see that the contrast of that, the slight contrast. And so it creates a very interesting light and dark pattern. And then also there's some temperature shift as well. So at this point, it's just kind of slowly polish just to bring out some of the branches, the snow, and just to fine tune those patterns a little bit more. And at this point, you're beginning to see the trees and the snow, the branches start to emerge. And then going forward, it's just trying to find a balance between making those trees make it look like that, to give some definition, but at the same time, like I said before, I don't like the literal translation. I don't want it to just. I want to kind of has that stylized at the same time. It kind of has that. You can see the snow. You can see the trees, but it's not. It's not. Yeah, so it's like a stylized versions of it. So in some way, I'm kind of before I start the painting, I was looking at some of Jackson Pollock's painting. I like that abstract pattern, the way the paint flows, the way the paint drips. But obviously, this is not. I'm actually using my brush to bring out those patterns, and then at this stage, I'm actually mixing some of the Chinese white with some blue color, so you can see there's some the opaqueness of the paint coming through now, and you can see. So this is actually to make the pattern even more interesting, to actually also create the different layering of the pattern by using and also indicating the snow kind of sitting on, I guess, the branches, so you could see the kind of things that you will see when you look at the a scene in a winter scene, a snowy scene, where you can see some of the branches has snows in it. So this stage is actually sped up the whole entire process about I think 300 or 400%. So yeah, so again, going continue with that Chinese white with some opaque color, so you could see the layering, even though so this painting is relatively has that flat feel to that. At the same time, you could beginning to see these branches. It also has that that pattern that I'm talking about. And then at the same time, you could see the so those are just not just abstract; those are actually snow, and you beginning to pick up those patterns. So yeah, so that was something that I wanted to do when I look at those the reference photo. I like that warm glow. I like the contrast of the orange and the blue. I like that abstract shape generated use that patterns from those trees, from those branches, and then to combine all that and turn it into a kind of a stylized versions of it. You could recognize it's snow at this point. You can recognize the trees, but then it's not a literal translation. So yeah, so the whole idea of this is just try something different. I oftentimes I find myself, especially painting on a daily basis, I feel like I feel obligated to try to match that. So this is one of those things I wanted to really push the boundary and try something different. And in the end, you can see the I guess this is kind of a mixture of a stylized version, but at the same time you could tell what it is, and so and yeah, so this is it, and I hope you like this video, and please feel free to leave me a comment, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.